Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Yeah, well, it's between afternoon and evening, but let me say good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to this afternoon session. How are you doing? How has your day been so far? I hope it has been exciting. I hope it has been exquisite. Mine. You want to know about my day? I'm willing to share. My day has been wonderful. See, I woke up alive and Cameroon full, and the day has just been going in a wonderful way. Don't bother. I'm going to tell you why. But before I tell you why I've been having a great day, I'm going to start by introducing myself on today's session. So my name is Lorian Mefan, and I'm a trainer with Impact Her. And I'm equally a digital marketing strategist at Impact Her. All right. And of course, for today's session, I'm not going to be alone. I'm with my colleagues. You're going to see Judith and Diana a lot in the comment section because they're going to be there, making sure that no questions moves unanswered. And equally, there is Beryl and Chidima at the back end, right, to ensure that the session is very smooth. Okay, so where am I joining you guys from? I was keeping this for the best. All right, I'm joining you from one incredible country in Central Africa. This country just taught a big lesson to a European country that's called Serbia. If you're watching the World Cup, you know about this country actually. Yeah, simply, I'm joining you from Cameroon. Yeah, and I'm so happy. I'm so excited. It's a very wonderful country. If I should visit Cameroon, I will personally welcome you. Okay, and my colleague Diana too in the chat, in the comments, is joining you from Cameroon. Now Judith is joining you from Benin. One day Benin is going to play World Cup, and they might do what we just did. Yeah, then Beryl is joining me from Kenya. Kenya, they don't do anything football. They do running. I will say they run. I don't know where they are running to, but they run. Okay. And Chidima is joining you from the Eagles country. And I'm sure you guys are joining us from Eagles country. Yeah? So please tell us who you are, where you're joining us from, and what you do. This is very important because it's going to help us interact. Plus, on this call, you don't know who is who. You don't know who might be an angel investor. You don't know who might be a blessing for your session. You don't know for your business. So do well to drop your name, okay, your activity in the comment section. Your name, your activity in the comment section, and of course where you are joining us from. You can equally tell me if your country right now is in the World Cup. Yeah, because mine is in the World Cup and doing something very extraordinary. Yeah, while you're doing that, I have just a very few requests for this session. The very first is that we should be very interactive on the call, because when we talk, we are able to know where we're doing fine, maybe what we need to correct, and we're equally able to know what you're understanding or what you're not understanding. And secondly, I'll be asking a couple of questions, so do what, use the chat box. Also, as of now, you should invite the others because we're just starting. Just invite everybody to be on the call. It's going to be a very awesome session. Trust me, it's going to be very wonderful. Equally, give us a like. Please hit the like and the subscribe button. Hit the like and the subscribe button. So what did I just say in the nutshell, right? Please introduce yourself, your name, your business name, where you're joining us from. Also, I mentioned the fact that you can tell everybody else that we are live today so that they can join and equally learn with you. Then I spoke about the fact that the session has to be very interactive. So do not hesitate to bother me with questions. Do not hesitate to bother Judith and Diana with questions. All right, it should be very interactive. And also like and subscribe. Now I'm sure that everybody has done that. I'm going to do a round to greet everybody who is on the call today before we begin the session. Hi, John. John has been like a very faithful participant in our sessions. John, is so wonderful to have you here again. Welcome, John. Welcome, Martha. How are you doing? Welcome. Good evening. How are you doing? She's joining us from Port Harcourt. All right. It's nice to know. Martha is a snail farmer. She sells snails, retrieved from the snail feed and calcium online. Oh, Martha, yeah, Martha, I've met you before. I've met you before here on one of these sessions. So you're really most welcome. We equally love eating snails in Cameroon. It is commonly known as nyamangoro. Don't tell this to your children, please. Just maintain snails, right? So for the others, please don't be shy. Equally drop your name. Your business name is very, very important. Hi, Nancy, and welcome everybody. Welcome. We are really happy to have you on this call. Now let's move further. Our today's topic is implementing Google Workspace across your business, meaning we've come a long way. We've covered a couple of topics, and I'm pretty sure at this particular point in time you have many notions about the whole digital sphere. You're more confident about navigating this digital sphere, and you're ready to take your business to another level. Now, whatever we're covering this afternoon is simply tools that will maintain you here in a very professional and organized way, and exactly how you can communicate and collaborate with people on the digital sphere. So I'm introducing today's topic: implement Google Workspace across your business. Implementing Google Workspace across your business. Now, what is our today's agenda? First of all, we're going to discover Google Workspace, meaning what is it all about? I'm sure some people are like, Google Workspace, what does it mean? Don't bother, you're going to be satisfied. The second thing that we'll be covering today is how you can boost communication across your business, of course, with the Google Workspace package, let me say it that way. And then we're going to look at how you can leverage tools to increase collaboration within the organization. So this is what we're going to be covering, and like I earlier mentioned, you have the possibility to ask questions, but it's really going to be more structured in these three phases, meaning after I finish explaining the very first part, we're going to have a pause for questions and answers. When I finish explaining the second part, we're going to have a pause, and equally the last part. But if along the line, questions come up, do not hesitate to drop these questions in the comment section. Trust me, you're going to be attended to. We have Judith, we have Beryl, we have Diana, and then I am there myself. So sorry about the background sound. We are still rejoicing over the victory, so I'm really sorry about the background noise. Okay, now I guess you've all been aware of this, that Google is offering a free bootcamp to small business owners that we call the Google Hustle Academy Bootcamp. Now, what is the Google Hustle Academy Bootcamp? The event that you as a small business owner, you would not want to miss in 2022, 2023 and forever, right? Because it's a very great way for you to be able to know how to use a little amount of resources, yet take your business to a whole other level. Why? You're going to cover topics like business strategy. We're going to cover topics like increasing sales. We're going to cover topics like pitching only during this bootcamp. And to crown it all, it is free. So it's a free bootcamp available from Google that you have to sign up for, because if you had to pay for the same knowledge that you receive anywhere else, we're going to be talking about hundreds of thousands in France, CFA, or even in Naira. So make sure that you sign up for the Hustle Academy Bootcamp. The link is going to be dropped in the comment section. Now, I have a question for everybody. What tools do you currently use to communicate and collaborate within your business? What tools do you currently use to communicate and collaborate within your business? Now, while you're dropping all those responses, I'm going to give you a simple presentation of our first part, Google Workspace. Now, I'm sure that people are trying to think Google and Workspace. Is it the work that is done on Google? Some people are trying to understand. Yeah, we can see it that way. Okay, but then as we move further, I have another question. Wait, before you even tell me if you currently use Google Workspace, have you ever heard about it? Have you ever heard about the Google Workspace? Is it something that has ever come to your knowledge? Okay, and if yes, have you ever used it? So there are two questions here. Have you ever heard about Google Workspace? And if yes, have you ever used it? Meanwhile, a big welcome to Esther. We are equally very happy to have you here. Greetings, Helen. It's awesome to have you amongst us. All right. Kudos to all the women doing good things. Very, very welcome to Nancy. Nancy, so sorry. She said the registration process is so cumbersome. Sorry. The boot camp is free, but at the same time, it's Google, and Google is a brand that respects itself. So they always have to make sure that the people who are involved into something are deserving. They are deserving. So that is the reason why the process has to be that cumbersome. You understand? But do well to do it, because whatever you benefit from this bootcamp is going to bring you millions of dollars. Okay, I'm not even about nairas anymore, millions of dollars. So do well to register, because it's going to be an awesome program. Judy just dropped this link. Thank you so much, Judy. Click on this link and then you're going to be able to sign up. Nancy, please just take it to the end. Esther, do so too. And I'm going to call on Helen, Martha to do that too. Meanwhile, I had two questions that I just asked. The first I asked is, what communication tools do you currently use in your business? And I just asked if you've ever heard about Google Workspace and if you've ever used Google Workspace. Okay, that makes it three, right? So what are the tools that you normally use for communication in your business? Now, secondly, have you ever heard about Google Workspace, or do you even use it? Okay, have you heard about it? Do you know what it is, and do you use it? Please, let's all not be shy today. You are going to excuse me for a bit. I've been shouting the whole day. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, while you're dropping your responses to all those questions, I'm just going to go further by introducing Workspace. So Google Workspace is simply it's a collection of cloud computing, productivity, and collaboration tools, software, and products developed and marketed by Google. Simply put, it's an embodiment of tools that Google is helping us to make working online easier, right? Let me just put it there. And it has a lot of advantages, a lot of benefits. So to make you understand it fine, Google Workspace, it's all the tools that are in the Google sphere, all those tools that you can be thinking about. It's that embodiment that we call the Google Workspace. Okay, so it's a collection of cloud computing, right, productivity, and equally collaboration software and products that are mainly done by Google and are equally marketed by Google, right? Now, here I have another activity for all of us here. Just for like 1 minute, please look at the screen. Can you tell me the tools that you are able to recognize on the screen? Look at the screen. Can you tell me the tools that you're able to recognize on the screen? Just look at the screen. Can somebody please tell me the tools that she is able to recognize on the screen? By the way, there's no wrong or right answer. There is really no wrong or right answer. All of us are going to be right, but we have to be participative. That's why we are asking all these questions. So please, can somebody look at the screen? I'm not leaving here till I list how my response. Can somebody look at the screen and tell me which tools are available? I'm waiting for responses. Hi, your welcome signs, people way. We are currently looking at the screen. So there's no answer so far. Please don't tell me this. I know you can see something. Okay, let me give 1 more minute before I recite them myself, but I know you can see something. Thank you, Nancy. Nancy saw Google Drive. Anybody else willing to try? Anybody else? Anybody else? Anyways, just keep the answers coming in. Let me try to give you the names of all the tools that you can see on your screen. All right, we have Gmail. Okay, we have Gmail, we have Calendar, we have Google Calendar, we have Google Drive, Google Meet, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Sites, Google Forms, Google Keep, Google Currents. No, I think this is Search Console, Charts, and Jamboard. Yeah, yeah. So let me repeat them all over. We have Google Mail, Google Calendar, Google Drive, Google Meet, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Sites, Google Forms, Google Keep, Google Search Console, Charts, and the Jamboard. So these are some of the tools. These are not all, but these are some of the tools that are found in the Google Workspace, right? Now let's move further to look at the core functionality of the Google Workspace. So what are the major things that you can do when you're using all those tools that we saw behind, right? First of all, you can create documents and presentations. You can record, analyze, and present data. You can brainstorm ideas and manage projects and store files. You can communicate globally. These are the major activities that we can carry out with the Google Workspace. Now let's dive a little bit deeper by looking at the tools which can permit us to carry out these various actions. So when we're talking about looking at creating documents and presentations, we're looking at Google Docs and Google Slides. You know, documents is simply that tool that is like the Microsoft Docs that we already know. So we can create documents, we can do write-ups on Google Docs. Equally, slides, you can use it like what we call the Microsoft PowerPoint, create slides and all via Google Slides. Then if we're looking at how we can record, analyze, and present data, the best tools here for us are Google Forms and Google Sheets. So Forms is simply what people use generally for surveys, you know, when they're trying to pick an analysis of something, they use Google Forms. Now Google Sheets is here to actually do this presentation and analysis of the data. It's true that in as much as the analysis is concerned, Google Forms too has, you know, a particular back end that shows data analyzed, because after the survey has been carried out, there's an area where you actually see how people responded, you see pie charts and all. And equally on Sheets, we already know that Sheets is the tool by excellency for analyzing data. Right now, let's move forward to the benefits brought about by the Google Workspace. First of all, there's increased collaboration, because thanks to all the tools that we just mentioned, whether it's Sheets, whether it's Docs, whether it's slides or forms, there is that possibility of collaborating with many people on one document. So via one document, you can share it with a number of people. That means if you email me, for example, at dms.impacther@gmail.com, okay, I can add Judith, or all right, on that same document, we both can collaborate. So there's actually increased collaboration thanks to the Google Workspace. There's improved communication thanks to the Google Workspace too, because there's the collaboration increase. So if we can collaborate better, means we can communicate better. There's smarter working, because there's no longer that possibility of, you know, having to send one document from one way to the other, but as easy as a document shared with somebody, the person can easily have access to this document and then start editing it. So it makes work smarter, and there's enhanced security, because there is supposed to be validation for you to have access to a document. If you want to try it, for example, if you've not been given access to a particular document, trust me, you are not going to be able to view it. All right, so these are some of the benefits, because there are many more brought about by the Google Workspace. Now let's talk about increased collaboration. All right, Google Workspace stores your information in the cloud, and it's enabling you to share documents and files with ease, and you can equally track changes with comments, and equally comment ideas and work with colleagues across projects. Now, when we look at the communication, how it improves, we look at tools like Gmail, Google Meet, Google Current, Google Chat. We already know that Gmail serves us for the professional aspect of it. Google Meet helps us to recreate in-person communications, which is a key factor in online communications. Google Current helps us to a little bit professionalize chat, and Google Chat helps come and relax the whole sphere. All right. Now, when we're talking about working smarter, you can collect, analyze, and turn data into insights via tools like Google Forms or again Google Sheets. You can equally streamline your workflows and processes, store and manage files, communicate and collaborate via one central system. Now, let's talk about securely store files in data. Whether you're storing your documents on Google Drive, the admin console helps you to first of all centralize administration, manage users, restrict access, all right? And you equally, even if you're doing it on a single document, your file is well secured as far as somebody does not have access or hasn't been given access to this particular file. Okay, now let's look at the process via which you can create your account on the Google Workspace. Firstly, you go to workspace.google.com/sign up/business starter. Then you input your business name, you add your contact details, you choose your domain name. A domain name is like impactheart.org. Okay, that is what we call the domain name. You update your business address, you set up your login details, and then you are good to go. Okay, these are the 6 major steps when you are creating your Google Workspace account. So step 1, you visit the link, and I'm sure Diana or Judith will share this link in the comment section, workspace.google.com/sign up/business starter. The next thing would be to input your business name, then to add your contact details, and then your domain, update your business address, set up your login details, and then you are good to go. Now, how do you set up or how do you get set up on the Google Workspace? First of all, you need to create a business email address. Okay, what do you need to know? You need to know that you don't need to add your email addresses as user accounts. Instead, you can add email aliases and group addresses for your business communications. These types of addresses are free and don't count towards your Google Workspace user licenses. Email aliases good. Email aliases is like good for one person. For example, you can create an address like info@yourcompany.com for your customers to connect your company. You can add the address as an alias to your business address like lorian@impactheart.org. Now, you can send messages sent to info@yourcompany.com also arrive to you@yourcompany.com Gmail inbox. All right. Now, what's the second thing? You can add team members and users. So before people on your team can sign in and access your Google Workspace service, they need a user account. So during your free trial, because you need to pay something for this, if you're using a setup wizard, you'd follow steps to add users. After setup, you can also add users in Google Admin Console, all right, and you learn more about adding users there. You can add more than 10 users, but for that you have to get to the annual billing plan. What's the nice thing that you can do is you can migrate your data and import files. So when switching maybe from Google Workspace and from another application to Google Workspace, you can import all the necessary data. Okay, now that we've discovered Google Workspace and how you can get set up on this, we are going to stop for the first pauses of questions and answers. We're going to stop here for the first pause of questions and answers. So we just covered the first part. Do we have questions so far? Any questions so far, please? You're going to excuse me a bit. If we have no questions, we can equally mention, but I want to be sure that it's understood because silence does not always mean consent. Any questions, please? Okay, while you are dropping those questions, while you're dropping your questions, I'm just going to move forward to the second part. And in the second part, we're covering boosting communication across your business. We're looking at how you can boost communications across your business. Now, let me ask you something. Which tools can you use via the Google Workspace to boost communication? Amongst all the tools that we just mentioned, according to you, which are the adequate tools to boost communication? Which are the adequate tools to boost communications? Now, maybe I'll just list those tools all over again to help you. So I mentioned Gmail, I mentioned the Google Drive, I mentioned Google Meet, I mentioned Google Calendar, then I mentioned Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Forms, Google Sites, Google Slides. I mentioned the Google Search Console. I mentioned the Jamboard, and then I think I mentioned Google Chats. Okay, so let me know, amongst all these tools that I just listed, according to your knowledge, which tools can you use to boost communications? I just mentioned all of them. Now I'll take it over again for the last time, slowly giving you time to think of which tools are going to be adequate for boosting communication. The first, okay, Gmail. The second, Calendar. The third, Google Drive. The fourth, Google Meet. The fifth, Google Docs. Then Google Sheets, Google Forms, Google Slides, Google Sites, then the admin console, Google Chat, and to finish, Google Jamboard, the Jamboard. So, to you, what are the tools that you think would help you to boost communication? What are the tools amongst what are Gmail? Thank you, Peter. He said Google Meet and Gmail. Awesome. Any other answer? Any other answer? Any other answer? Thank you so much, Peters. By the way, thank you, Master, for telling me that you do not have any question. It's so nice to see that you answer. Peter, I guess if I had, a gift for this, you would have had something. So he had it right. Maybe not all, but he got like 2 of them. So the key communication tools on the Google Workspace is Gmail, Google Meet, Current, and Chat. Oh, Esther Queen, okay, said the same thing about Forms. Esther, Forms. How? Tell me how that's possible. Okay, now let's do a simple presentation of Gmail. Even though this is the tool that we no longer present, Gmail is the tool that officially presents itself. So it's the email platform that is available from Google, which can permit you to send files, create goals, mailing lists, and access the integrated calendar in order to stay connected and up to date. Now, Google Meet is that video conferencing tool that is actually built on Google's robust and secure global infrastructure, and it's included in the Google Workspace suite. Let me tell you, Google Meet is actually very awesome. Did you know that when you have a Google Meet call, if you want to separate yourself into little rooms, you can do that maybe in the middle of a brainstorming session? Guess what? I just gave you that answer. So Google Meet is really interesting. It's a very interesting video conferencing tool. We have Google Current, which mainly engages employees, fosters more meaningful conversations, and permits them to stay connected. You can actually work towards a common goal, build a community, and ensure employees can communicate their ideas and receive instant feedback. Now let's talk about Chat. Chat is mainly that tool that is more relaxed as far as Current is concerned. Chat is actually an instant messaging platform, and you can equally have groups, all right? And the advantage here is that being a Google tool, you can easily share share and connect with everyone with ease. It can come like a little bit Slack functionality. All right. Now that we've presented the tools, let's look at the top tips to maximize communication. Very important. Step one, always try to create in-person communication. Stay organized in your communication. Create team mailing lists, set up project or team rooms. Now, how do you do this recreating in-person communication? First of all, by scheduling regular team calls and check-ins via Google Meet and Hangouts, connect with colleagues and teams across the globe, brainstorm ideas, work on team projects and hold virtual events, join from mobile and desktop devices. So these are some of the ways in which you can make sure that communication is created in person. Now, if we want to look at how you can stay organized in your communication, it will be the one and only Google Calendar. In fact, this tool is a non-negotiable, must-use tool from the Google Workspace. Calendar is a lifesaver in terms of scheduling rendezvous, in terms of scheduling meetings, in terms of making sure that you don't miss on something. You can even go as far as scheduling personal activities and getting reminders via the Google Calendars. So it can permit you to create multiple team calendars to track meetings, training sessions, vacations, and a lot more. You can actually improve your productivity via Google Calendar. And do you know why it's key in communications? Because if you see that at this particular point in time, I have a meeting, obviously you can stay organized. If you know that at this particular point in time, I'm supposed to take a break, you know, you can communicate ahead of time saying, I'm going to take a break at this particular point in time. Now, let's talk about creating team mailing list. We're simply going to say that you can create a Google group email list. Our HR is a champion for this. Okay, then you can send status updates via the team mailing list. You can share resources, and it increases visibility and fosters community. All right, let's look at the last point where we're talking about setting up project or team rooms. How do you set up a project or team's rooms? You can actually help team members stay connected by creating a room in Google Chats, all right, or chat in Gmail. You can encourage your team members to network with each other, share project ideas, exchange thoughts on best practices, and create a stronger sense of community. So this is what you can do with the Google Workspace tools. Now we're going to stop here for the second part of questions. We're going to stop here for the second part of questions. So far, if you have any other question, the floor is yours. If you have any other questions, the floor is yours. Nancy, please come back with that question. I want to better understand it. You know, Google Chat is mainly internal, like, you know, using communications internally. So if you're talking about multiple businesses at the same time, then I don't seem to understand. But try to please let me know what you want me to understand, please. And by the way, so far, any more questions? Any more questions, please?
Yeah. Oui.
Any more questions, please?
Oui.
Nancy, I'm still waiting for you to reformulate your question so that I can attend to it better. But while Nancy is taking time to reformulate her question, does anybody on the call have another one? Anybody with another question? Okay, while you're dropping these questions, maybe I'll take the last session, and please do not hesitate to drop pest me with your questions, because we want to make sure that you understand. We want to make sure that this serves you a very great purpose. All right. It's a little bit timid. I know that we are not shy, but because we are not supposed to be shy. Okay, thank you, Martha. Martha, you said no question, but how is it? Are you understanding so far? Tell me, for example, tell me what you think you can implement directly after the session, Martha, and anybody, because if there are no questions, maybe then you're understanding. Just tell me maybe one thing that you will do immediately after the session to make sure that this session brought you something good. Just tell me that in the comment section. Martha and everybody else on the call. Malta and anybody else on the call while I am presenting the last part. And the last part, we're looking at the leveraging tools to increase collaboration. Leveraging tools to increase collaboration. Okay, now still on the tools that were listed on the Google Workspace, what do you think are the tools that can permit us to increase collaboration? I also list them all over. Which tools can you use on the Google Workspace to increase collaboration? Now, the Google Workspace tools, you still need me to list them all over, or are you good? All right, let me do it one last time so that it can help your thought process. I started with Gmail, I went to Google Calendar, then I went to Google Drive, and then Google Meet, right? Then I proceeded with Google Forms, well, Google Docs before Forms, Docs, Sheets, Forms, Slides, Sites. Then I went to the admin console, Google admin console, Charts, and then Jamboard. Jamboard. So let me know which of these tools, which amongst these tools you think can be used to increase collaboration. Collaborate across projects and teams. And before I explain this, do you have an idea? The comment section is so timid. All right, let me go ahead by talking about how we can collaborate across projects and teams. So first of all, you can brainstorm ideas, you can share working files, you can make suggestions and tag colleagues, and then you can track changes. So these are the aspects of collaborations that we're looking at. So now let's talk about the tools that can help you do this. I'm sure nobody saw this coming. Jamboard. Jamboard is the very first tool that we're looking at as far as collaboration is concerned. Simply why? Because Jamboard is a digital whiteboard. You know, normally if we're in a brainstorming session, if we're in a physical brainstorming session, you know, there'll always be a board that'll help us jot down ideas, or that'll be there to um about the sticky note parts, right? The sticky notes that we put on the board when we're sharing ideas. And this is what you can do if you're in a Google Meet session with the Jamboard. You can actually mention your ideas with sticky note pads on the Jamboard, all right? So it's connected to the cloud, and it enables people, obviously in different locations, to work together in real time through multiple touch points. Our second collaboration tool here is Google Drive. Why? Because you can store your files on the cloud, and it enables you to share the working documents, the presentation, and sheets with ease. You can actually encourage collaboration and work from one central files. If we're talking about making suggestions and tag colleagues, you can edit the document sheets in real time, reducing the need to send files back and forth. I really think this is one of the major advantages of the Google Workspace, because the fact that we can share and work on one document together, it actually permits Hi everybody, can you hear me now? I don't know at what one moment exactly did you lose me? I don't know. Okay, I'm back. I'm back and I am sorry. Okay, now to be very honest, Nancy, I would not advise you to have one Gmail or one Google Workspace for several businesses. All right, what you can do is, yes, it's better to have a Google account for each because it's going to permit you to know that these tabs are separate from this one. I would never advise you to have all elements in one central area because you can get confused at some point, like at which level am I in this business or that business. Okay, but if I have my Gmail for one, I know, okay, all the mails for that particular business are directed to that area, and I know for sure that, okay, it's going to be fine, right? So do that, Nancy. Yes, everything is okay. My camera just had a little glitch. It was just my camera, not network. But thank you. And I'm really sorry for that little issue. I did not even know I was kicked out because I was busy explaining. So I think I'll go back to 2 slides before continuing. So I don't know if this is where I was ejected, but then I explained that Google Drive is a very essential collaboration tool simply because you can have one file kept in one area, and then many people come and have access maybe to one file that has a couple of documents. That's actually very awesome. Okay, and then I went further to explaining how you can make suggestions and tag colleagues with the fact that you can edit documents in real time. So you can literally call your colleagues' attention to a particular area on the document and say, oh, see this part, can you confirm this? It's actually very awesome and interesting. You can suggest changes. Okay, you can comment with ideas and tackle it to increase visibility and to boost collaboration. The Google Workspace actually makes things a little bit smoother, okay, smoother as per collaboration is concerned. That's a fact. All right, that's a fact. Okay, let me move forward. Let me see if there's any comment. Yeah, Nancy, check Google Current out and Google Calendar. Everybody should check Google Calendar out. So you'll not regret it. Okay. Now, I was explaining tracking changes. So tracking changes is simply that you can view all the edits made to your documents and files. You can restrict who does the editing or who doesn't via the Google Workspace. Okay, and now we're going to stop and take the last part of questions and answers. Now we're going to stop to take the last part of questions and answers. See, please, Now, while I'm taking this particular last course, right, I have a big request to make to everybody. Please let me know how the session has been, if you're understanding, if you want me maybe to come back on something. This is why we ask if there are questions, because we want to know if there's some element that you would like us to come back on, or you would like us to say much about it. Okay, very, very simple. All right, very, very simple. And thank you so much, Peace Peter, for this question. Okay. Okay. Now let me start with the first question that Peace Peter has asked, which is how can I start using Google Drive to storing documents. Okay. Now, Peter, I don't know if you have a computer. Even if you have a smartphone, you can do it. Okay. For example, you have a document in your smartphone and you want to keep it in the cloud. Okay, and you have your Gmail, or you already have a Google. If you already have a Gmail, right, you have access to a couple of the Google services like the Drive, for example. But if you have Workspace, you have access to all of the Google Workspace. So it's simple. You take that file and then you add it in Drive, or you go to Google Drive itself, then you go to import file, and then you're going to be able to choose the file from the location wherever it is in your computer or in your phone. Okay, that's how you can start storing up files with Google Drive. You go to Google Drive, then you go and import a file or a document, and then you're going to be able to import it there. Now, if we're talking about creating a mailing list on your Gmail, the very first thing is you need to open the Google Contacts. Then you will create a group label. You add now the contacts to that group label that you have created. Then select the name label in the field. In the to field, select the name label, then send an email to the group. So it's simply adding the people in your group, your Google contacts, and then putting them in a group label, so that when you want to send an email to them, you just choose that group and then you send an email to the whole group. All right. I hope that is understood, please, Peter, for both. I hope it's understood for both. Thank you so much for that heartwarming comment, please, Peter. But don't bother. The slides are not really important, but do you know what is really great is that you can always come back to this link and watch the session from beginning to end on your own quietly and understand everything else that you want to understand. And if while you're watching it you still have questions, you'll be able to get us Impact Her for us to be able to give you answers to those questions. And while we are still here, I would like us to kindly fill the attendance form. Judith has posted the attendance form, so please fill the attendance form. 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 It's on the screen and it's equally in the chat section. Please fill the attendance form. Please fill the attendance form. While you are filling it, do you still have any other questions? Do you have any other questions, whether it's on the workspace, whether it's on describing the Google workspace, whether it's on increasing communications, and then whether it's on collaboration, increasing collaboration? Any more questions, please? Any more questions? Remember, there's no wrong or right answer or no dull question. There's no dull question. There's no dull question, most especially. Let's all feel free to vent if we have any worry or preoccupation. And while we are dropping all the other questions, this is a gentle reminder. The most awesome gentle reminder is that Google is offering the free bootcamp. So if you are not here in the beginning, I mentioned this, that there's a free bootcamp available from Google, which is called the Hustle Academy Bootcamp. The Hustle Academy Bootcamp, and it's going to run for a whole week where you're going to learn how to scale, where you're going to learn how to take your business to another level, where you're going to learn about pitching, you learn about financing, you learn about increasing sales, and the rest is going to be a surprise. So sign up for the Hustle Academy Bootcamp. The link will be dropped. Let me get the Hustle Academy. Okay, thank you so much, Judith, for that. Please sign up for the Hustle Academy program. Okay, that's the link there. Now, please, Peter, how do I start creating a Google Meet? Go to meet.google.com. See, let me get that for you. Meet.google.com. Meet.google.com. And the second thing is you can equally download the Google Meet app in your phone, and then you'll be able to create your meeting link. It's quite easy to use, to be very honest. It is. Even if you're not a tech savvy, you can do this very easily. So you can go to meet.google.com, and then you see how you can create a meeting, schedule a meeting. Or another way to use the Google Meet is via Google Calendar. Okay, you can schedule a meeting link via the Google Calendar, right? So you have a meeting with somebody, and then you just go to Google Calendar, input the time, and then the time range is going to come with the Meet link added, right? So thank you so much, Nancy, and thank you so much, Peace Peter, for the awesome comments. To be very honest, it's satisfiable. It's satisfying. Yeah, satisfying, that's the word. Thank you all so much. Now, do not forget to sign up for the Hustle Academy Bootcamp. So what are your next steps? You can self-learn with learndigital.google.com/digital skills/courses. And obviously, you can find us on social media, whether it's facebook.com/digital skills for Africa, whether it's twitter.com/digital skills AF, instagram.com/digital skills AF. I have another good news. You can find Impact Car on all these platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you can always come back to us. We're always willing to help. And in fact, being even in our network, you might have the chance of winning a free website, of winning a free digital marketing strategy, of winning a free financial trading. Just always follow us and then equally get to us, right? Now that we have said this, I'm going to say big thank you to all of you for being on today's session. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for taking out time. And obviously, our plea would be that you put this into application so that you see a real turnaround in your business. All right. So from the Cameroonian to all of you, thank you so very much. I wish you a very awesome evening. Enjoy the joy that Cameroon and Ghana gave Africa this afternoon. Okay, have a very wonderful day and see you during your next session, maybe. Right, let me see when your next session is let me see when your next session is going to hold. Let me see, I'm looking for when your next session is holding. Okay, on the 2nd of December at 4:30 p.m. So your next session will be on the 2nd of December at the same time, 4:30 p.m. So do not miss out. Make sure you are there. Yeah. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much, and please do not forget to fill the attendance form and Bye bye. Have a great evening.